Hey everyone, welcome back to TVP Wildlife, where we bring the wild to life, one incredible story at a time. If you love learning about the raw, untamed side of nature, the predators, the survivors, the legends, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating, misunderstood, and powerful creatures on Earth, the wolf, the symbol of freedom, loyalty, and wilderness itself. This is not just another story about a predator. This is the story of survival, evolution, and the eternal spirit of the wild. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's journey back tens of thousands of years to when the first wolves walked the frozen lands of the Ice Age. Origins of the wolf. The dawn of the hunter. Long before humans built cities, before history even began to be written, there was ice. The world was colder, harsher, and alive with creatures that now exist only in fossils and imagination. Mammoths roamed the tundra, saber-toothed cats ruled the forests, and among them was a shadow, a lean, gray figure with golden eyes and a heart built for the chase. The ancestor of the modern wolf. Scientists believe that wolves evolved from ancient canids about 1 to 2 million years ago, possibly descending from the Canis lepophagus, an early North American predator that hunted in packs and resembled a slim version of today's wolves. Over time, these early wolves spread across continents, adapting to every environment they touched, from scorching deserts to frozen tundras. But what made wolves so successful? It wasn't just their teeth or their speed. It was their mind, the way they learned, communicated, and worked together. That was the beginning of the pack instinct, the secret weapon that would make wolves one of the most effective hunters in history. Imagine the Ice Age plains, endless white stretching to the horizon. A small pack of wolves moves silently, their breath visible in the cold air. Their paws barely make a sound. Their eyes lock on a herd of caribou. This was not just hunting. It was survival choreography, every movement timed, every signal silent. One wolf veers left to cut off escape. Another flanks to the right. The alpha stays back, watching, waiting for the perfect moment. Then chaos. Snow explodes, the herd bolts, and the hunt begins. It's fast, brutal, and beautiful. These early wolves learned something crucial. Alone, survival is hard. Together, it's instinct. Over millennia, wolves adapted. Their coats thickened to endure freezing nights. Their senses sharpened to detect prey over miles of snow. They could hear another wolf howl from more than 10 kilometers away and tell who it was, what they wanted, and where they were. Their lives became a symphony of communication, body language howls, scent markings, each message vital to the pack's survival. And as the Ice Age began to end, a new player appeared on the scene: humans. Hunters, intelligent, organized, and dangerous. At first, wolves and humans were enemies, competitors chasing the same prey. But something unexpected happened. Imagine a campfire burning on a frozen night. Humans huddled for warmth, protecting their food from scavengers lurking in the dark. And somewhere, just beyond the light, to golden eyes watch a wolf, hungry, cautious, curious. It's too dangerous to attack, too desperate to leave. It waits for scraps, for a chance. Over generations, some wolves, perhaps the less aggressive ones, began to linger closer. Humans noticed. They began tossing bones, leftovers, and slowly an alliance formed. These wolves found safety, warmth, and steady food near human camps. In return, they barked warnings, defended territory, and helped humans track prey. Without realizing it, both species had made a deal that would change history forever. The taming of the wolf, the birth of the dog. Every dog you've ever met, from the tiny Chihuahua to the mighty Husky, shares DNA with wolves. Not just a little bit, but about 99.9% genetic similarity. That's right, your adorable pet, sleeping on the couch, descends from a predator that once hunted mammoths. But while dogs took the path of companionship, wolves remained the guardians of the wild, the keepers of instinct, untouched by domestication. They stayed where humans could not tame them, in the forests, the mountains, the frozen heart of nature. What's fascinating about wolves is not just their biology, it's their adaptability. They've survived ice ages, famine, human persecution, and even near extinction. Every time the world changed, they changed with it. They are, in every sense, the ultimate survivors. But survival came with a cost. As humans spread across the globe, wolves became both admired and feared. To some, they were gods and spirit guides, symbols of courage and independence. To others, they were monsters, killers of livestock, thieves of the night. This love-hate relationship would define the next thousands of years of coexistence between wolves and humankind. And it all began with those glowing eyes by the campfire. There's something ancient and eternal about the gaze of a wolf. It's not just animal instinct, it's memory. A reminder of what the world was like before us. Before fences, before fear, before control. Every time a wolf howls, it carries the echo of that ancient bond. The connection between wilderness and survival, freedom and unity. And if you listen closely, maybe you can still hear it. The sound of the first hunter, the sound of the wild itself. From a shadow in the Ice Age to one of the most complex predators on Earth, the story of the wolf's origin is the story of life's will to adapt, evolve, and endure. But that's just the beginning, because next, we'll step into the heart of the pack, where loyalty is tested, dominance is earned, and every howl tells a story. A single wolf can survive alone for a while, but a wolf's heart truly beats only when it belongs to a pack. The pack is everything. Its family, its protection, its hierarchy, and its home. Without it, even the strongest wolf fades into silence. A wolf pack isn't just a group of animals living together. It's a living system, a masterpiece of cooperation and discipline that rivals even human societies in complexity. A typical pack begins with just two wolves, an alpha male and an alpha female, a mated pair who claim a territory and raise their young. Over time, their offspring may stay to help hunt and protect the next litter, forming a multi-generational family unit. Every member has a role. Every role means survival. At the top, there's the alpha pair, not tyrants, not bullies, but leaders through respect and experience. They eat first, lead the hunts, and make the critical decisions: when to move, when to fight, when to flee. But the secret of their leadership isn't domination, it's trust. A true alpha leads because the others believe in them, not because they fear them. Below them are the betas, the second in command, loyal, strong, and ready to step up when needed. Then come the subordinates, the workers, hunters, and guardians of the pack. And at the bottom, the omega, often misunderstood. Many think the omega is a loser, but in truth, this wolf plays a vital role, easing tension, playing with pups, and keeping peace among hot tempers. They're the comic relief, the heart of the family, the one who turns fights into laughter, even in the wild. Someone has to remind the pack not to take life too seriously. Pups are the center of the pack's world. Every spring, when snow melts and prey returns, the alpha female gives birth in a den hidden deep in the forest. Tiny, blind, and helpless, the pups rely completely on the adults for food and warmth. The pack becomes a fortress around them. Older siblings bring food, watch for eagles, and even babysit while the mother hunts. The father, the alpha male, guards the entrance, never far from his family. And when the pups finally emerge, stumbling into the sunlight, the whole pack greets them with wagging tails and soft whines. It's a moment of joy, but also a promise: we will protect you. You are one of us. Life in the pack isn't always peaceful. Tension simmers beneath the surface: hunger, competition, ambition. A single harsh winter can test even the strongest bonds. When food grows scarce, order is tested. The alphas eat first. They must stay strong to lead. But every other wolf waits, eyes locked, muscles tense, hoping for their turn. A wrong move, a single snarl at the wrong time, and hierarchy erupts into chaos. Fights are rare but powerful. Two wolves might circle, hackles raised, tails stiff, ears forward. It's not about killing, it's about communication. A show of strength, a negotiation of dominance. Most conflicts end with submission. One wolf lowers its head, tucks its tail, averts its gaze. The winner rarely needs to bite. Among wolves, respect is earned through restraint. But when danger comes from the outside, the pack becomes one. No rival pack, no bear, no mountain lion dares challenge a united family. Each wolf knows its place in the battle. Some flank, some distract, some protect the young. The alpha leads the charge, a blur of teeth and fur, while the rest follow with absolute trust. In the chaos of survival, unity is the difference between life and death. It's easy to think of wolves as ruthless predators, but what truly defines them is loyalty. If a pack member is injured, the others bring food to them. If a pup is lost, the pack searches for days, calling through the forest until the echoes fade. That loyalty, that bond, is stronger than hunger, stronger than fear. It's what makes wolves who they are. But not every wolf finds peace in the pack. As pups grow, they reach an age where instinct whispers something new: independence. A young wolf, strong and restless, begins to challenge authority. At first it's subtle, a stare held too long, a step too far during feeding. The alpha notices. The pack watches. Sometimes it ends with a growl and retreat, but other times, it ends with exile. Leaving the pack is one of the most dangerous moments in a wolf's life. Alone, the world turns silent and cold. No one to share a meal, no one to watch your back. Many lone wolves die before they ever find a new home. But for those who survive, it's the beginning of something new, the chance to start their own legacy. A lone wolf becomes a founder, a pioneer, seeking a mate, carving out territory, creating the next chapter of the species. From exile comes creation, nature's way of saying, strength is born from struggle. Every trail, every scent, every howl carries a story, a message: I was here. This is mine. This is who I am. Wolves mark their territory not out of arrogance, but necessity. Their survival depends on space, enough prey to feed the pack, enough distance to avoid conflict. They use scent, sound, and instinct to draw invisible borders through vast wilderness. Crossing those lines can mean war, but even then, violence is rare. A howl is often enough. It's a warning, a conversation between predators: I hear you. I respect you. Stay away. In that cold, lonely wilderness, every sound matters. Howls carry not just distance, but identity. Each voice is unique, a fingerprint of sound. When one wolf howls, another answers, and soon the night becomes alive with music. It's not just communication, it's connection. A symphony of family, loyalty, and presence that echoes through the trees long after the wolves fall silent. But the pack's world is fragile. One injury to the alpha, one bad winter, one human trap, and everything can crumble. When the leader dies, confusion spreads. Who leads now? Who eats first? Who decides when to move? The answer isn't always clear. Sometimes the pack splits. Sometimes a new alpha rises, often the most experienced, not the most aggressive. A wolf's true strength lies not in dominance, but in wisdom. They've learned that to lead is to serve, to protect, to guide, to endure. That's what keeps the pack alive. As night falls, the pack gathers once more. Bellies full, eyes glowing under the moonlight. Pups tumble and play. Adults stretch and settle. The alpha pair stands side by side, their silhouettes framed by the pale light of the moon. One lifts its head and howls, long, haunting, and proud. One by one, the others join in. The sound rolls across the valley like thunder, a reminder to the world: the pack is alive. The wild endures. It's more than communication. It's a declaration: we are together. We are home. The life of the pack is a balance between order and chaos, power and compassion, dominance and care. It's a reflection of the natural law that unity is strength and family is survival. In the next chapter, we'll follow the pack into the hunt, where instinct meets strategy, and every chase is a story of life, death, and the relentless rhythm of nature. The forest is silent until the silence starts to move. Shadows glide between the trees, a flick of gray fur, a breath in the cold, and then the hunt begins. For wolves, hunting isn't just about killing. It's strategy, it's teamwork, it's instinct honed by millions of years of survival. Unlike big cats, wolves don't rely on ambush or brute strength. They rely on coordination, a kind of invisible choreography written in body language and trust. Each wolf knows the rhythm, the pace, the role. Together they become one mind, one body, one purpose. It starts with a signal, a subtle flick of the tail, a glance, a quiet huff. No barking, no noise. Every sound in the wild costs energy, costs surprise. The alpha takes the lead, followed by the experienced hunters. The younger wolves spread out to form a semicircle. They read the landscape like a map: wind direction, snow depth, terrain. Wolves are expert mathematicians of the wild. They calculate speed, distance, and stamina with every step. They know when to push, when to wait, when to strike. The herd senses danger. Ears flick, muscles tighten. For a heartbeat, time holds still. Then, movement. The chase explodes. Wolves are not the fastest runners in nature, but they are among the most enduring. They can maintain a steady pace for 20, even 30 kilometers, wearing down prey through sheer persistence. It's called endurance hunting, and it's one of nature's most elegant strategies. A caribou or elk might sprint ahead at first, but wolves don't chase blindly. They conserve energy, rotating positions, letting the lead hunter rest while another takes point. Each wolf reads the other's movements, adjusting silently. No confusion, no panic, just perfect cooperation. Then comes the moment of decision. They single out the weak, the old, the injured, the careless. Not cruelty, but efficiency. Nature's balance. The chase narrows into chaos. Snow bursts under hooves. Teeth flash in the white. A wolf leaps, grabs a hind leg. Another moves in from the side, cutting off escape. The alpha closes in, fast and silent. A strike to the throat, quick and precise. The forest falls still again. It's brutal, but it's clean. Wolves kill only what they need. And when the prey falls, the hunt is over. There's no celebration, no waste. The alpha steps back, letting others eat first. The pups, the nursing females, even the omegas. Only when the pack is fed does the alpha eat. Leadership, in the wolf world, means putting others before yourself. Every hunt is a lesson. Young wolves watch, learn, imitate. They practice stalking, pouncing, reading signals. Failure is common, success rare. But with each attempt, they grow sharper, more disciplined, more in tune with the pack. A pack that fails too often starves, but a pack that learns thrives. That's how wolves endure, not through individual power, but collective intelligence. When you watch a hunt unfold, it's not chaos, it's art. A living dance of precision and purpose that no human could choreograph in death. The cycle continues. What the wolves don't eat feeds the ravens, the foxes, the soil itself. Nothing is wasted. The forest reclaims everything. Wolves aren't destroyers of nature. They are its balancers. In Yellowstone National Park, after wolves were reintroduced, everything changed. Elk herds stopped overgrazing the valleys. Aspen and willow trees began to grow again. Birds returned. Beavers came back. Rivers even changed course because vegetation stabilized the banks. One predator revived an entire ecosystem. That's the power of balance. That's the power of the wolf. But every successful hunt comes with a price. A wolf's life burns fast. They face hunger, injury, exhaustion, and the constant threat of humans. A broken leg can mean slow death. A missed hunt means a starving pack. Wolves live on the razor's edge of survival, and every victory is temporary. Tomorrow, the chase begins again. And yet, even in hardship, wolves find joy. They play after a hunt, tumbling in the snow, nipping and chasing like children. It's their way of releasing tension, rebuilding bonds, reminding each other that life, even hard life, is worth celebrating. Pups learn by imitation. The adults let them practice with small prey, mice, hares, birds. At first they fail miserably. They chase shadows, miss their targets, roll in snow, and trip over their own paws. But every failed attempt builds instinct. One day, when they're strong enough, they'll take their place beside the alphas in a real hunt. That first successful kill isn't just a meal, it's a rite of passage. A moment when a young wolf becomes a true hunter. Every scar, every breathless chase, every night of hunger, it all leads to that one defining moment. Winter is the great test. Food becomes scarce, prey grows wary, snow deepens, and temperatures drop below survival limits. Hunger gnaws like a constant ache. Ribs show through fur. The pack howls more often, not for communication, but for strength, for unity, for hope. And when the time comes, they hunt again, even if it means risking everything. Wolves will chase prey for hours through blizzards, through exhaustion, through pain. Not out of cruelty, but because they must. In the language of the wild, survival is neither good nor evil. It simply is. When dawn finally comes, and the pack rests after a long night, there's peace in the silence. Breath clouds fade. The forest exhales. They've made it one more day. No celebration, no arrogance, just quiet satisfaction. The knowledge that they've earned another sunrise. In those still moments, you can almost feel the pulse of something ancient, the rhythm of survival, the wisdom of nature itself. Wolves remind us that strength doesn't come from power. It comes from endurance, from never giving up, no matter how many times the world pushes you down. That's the lesson of the hunt. That's the art of the wolf. The hunt is over, but the story T.next will follow the wolves beyond the forest, into a world shaped by fear, myths, and human hands. The bond between wolves and people has always been complicated, sometimes bloody, sometimes beautiful. And in that story lies the reflection of who we truly are. Somewhere, a wolf howls, and a man stirs in his cabin uneasy. That sound, haunting and beautiful to some, has filled others with fear for centuries. Few creatures have shaped the human imagination as deeply as the wolf. Once, we hunted side by side. We shared the same prey, the same forests, the same cold stars above. But as humans rose to dominance, something changed. We began to see the wolf not as a reflection of ourselves, but as a threat. And so began one of the longest wars in natural history, man versus wolf. Centuries ago, across Europe, wolves ruled the wilderness. They prowled from the Scottish Highlands to the Carpathian Mountains. They followed herds, avoided villages, and mostly kept to themselves. But hunger knows no boundaries. When harsh winters came and prey disappeared, wolves crept closer to human lands. Sometimes a sheep vanished, sometimes a dog, sometimes a child. The fear spread like wildfire. People began to see wolves not as animals, but as demons in fur. Stories grew, tales of glowing eyes in the dark, of beasts that turned into men under the full moon, of lycanthropes, the cursed, the damned, the werewolves. Myths gave fear a face, and fear demanded revenge. By the Middle Ages, the war on wolves was in full force. Kings offered bounties for every wolf killed. Villagers built traps, poisoned carcasses, hunted mothers in their dens. In France, special wolf hunters were paid by the crown. Their job was extermination. In England, wolves were wiped out by the 1500s. In Ireland, by the 1700s, across Europe, forests grew silent. The wild was retreating, not because wolves vanished, but because we couldn't live beside them. The wolf became a symbol of everything untamed, everything we couldn't control. And for centuries, humans fought to silence that symbol. When Europeans sailed to the New World, they brought their fear with them. In North America, wolves were already part of the land, roaming the plains, the forests, the snowy peaks. Native tribes respected them. To the Lakota, the wolf was a teacher. To the Pawnee, a guardian spirit. To many, wolves were not monsters, they were kin. But settlers saw only danger. They brought sheep and cattle, easy prey. And soon, the killing began again. Between the 1800s and early 1900s, the U.S. government launched one of the most extensive predator extermination campaigns in history. Thousands of wolves were trapped, poisoned, shot, or burned in their dens. By the 1930s, wolves were nearly gone from the lower 48 states. In their absence, deer and elk populations exploded. Forests thinned. Rivers eroded. The balance broke, but no one noticed yet. The silence was mistaken for peace. And still, the wolf lived on, in stories, in songs, in nightmares. Think about how many fairy tales we tell children that end with a wolf as the villain. Little Red Riding Hood, The Three Little Pigs, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. In every version, the wolf is cunning, hungry, cruel, the embodiment of danger lurking beyond the firelight. We taught generations to fear the howl, to distrust the eyes glowing in the dark. But somewhere along the way, we forgot. The wolf was only doing what it was born to do, survive. It didn't hate us. It didn't hunt us for sport. It hunted because it was hungry. It howled because it was alone. Maybe the fear we saw on the wolf's reflection wasn't about the animal at all, but about ourselves. In 1926, Yellowstone National Park, once home to countless wolves, was silent. Deer and elk grazed without fear. The grass disappeared. Trees couldn't grow, and rivers began to shift. Without predators, prey forgot caution. The land forgot balance. It took 70 years for humans to realize what they had done. In 1995, scientists reintroduced wolves to Yellowstone. Just a few dozen at first, gray ghosts returning home. And then, something incredible happened. Within a few years, elk herds moved again, no longer overgrazing. Vegetation rebounded. Songbirds came back. Beavers returned and built dams, reshaping waterways. Predators like bears and eagles thrived on wolf kills. Even the rivers themselves changed, flowing stronger, steadier, healthier. The wolf hadn't just returned. It had healed the land. That was the moment the world began to see wolves differently. Not as monsters, not as enemies, but as keystone species, vital threads in nature's web. Yet even today, the battle isn't over. In some regions, wolves are still hunted, still feared. Livestock owners worry for their animals. Hunters claim wolves steal their game. Politicians debate. Biologists plead for balance. It's a struggle between ancient instinct and modern understanding, between fear and coexistence. But progress is happening. In places like Germany, Italy, and the US, wolf populations are slowly returning. People are learning new ways to protect livestock, using guard dogs, fencing, even flashing lights that mimic human presence. Education is replacing fear, and with it, something beautiful is returning. Respect. You can feel it in the air. A quiet reconciliation. Humans are beginning to listen again, not to the old stories of monsters, but to the truth written in the wilderness. We're remembering that wolves are not separate from us. They are part of the same story, the same earth, the same heartbeat of life. Somewhere in that haunting howl is a reminder of who we used to be: hunters, wanderers, survivors under the same moon. And maybe, just maybe, the wolf has been trying to teach us something all along. That strength is nothing without balance. That power is meaningless without respect. That the wild isn't ours to conquer, it's ours to share. The war between humans and wolves lasted for thousands of years. But now, a fragile peace is forming. A new understanding, one howl at a time. The question is, will we listen this time? Before humans built cities, before kings and empires rose and fell, there was the wolf. It roamed the earth, silent and watchful, its paws tracing the very veins of the wild. To ancient people, the wolf was not an animal to be feared, it was a spirit to be honored. From the Arctic tundra to the desert sands, stories of the wolf echo in every culture. Some call it a hunter, others a guardian, and some ... a god. Among the Native Americans, wolves were teachers of loyalty and endurance. They said the wolf teaches us to trust our instincts, to protect our family, and to honor the pack. When the first people learned to hunt, they watched the wolves. When they learned to live together, they followed the pack's example. For the Pawnee, the wolf carried the sun across the sky. For the Inuit, it guided lost souls through the snow. And for the Cherokee, the wolf was sacred. To kill one was to invite misfortune upon the tribe. The wolf was not a beast. It was a brother. Across the ocean, in the cold north, the Norse saw the wolf in another light. In their myths, two giant wolves, Skull and Hati, chased the sun and moon across the heavens. And one day, when they caught them, the world would end. Ragnar K. To the Vikings, wolves were both omen and power. They wore wolf pelts into battle, believing the spirit of the beast would grant them courage and fury. They called themselves Ulfednir, the wolf warriors. To face death like a wolf was the greatest honor, even in destruction. The wolf symbolized strength, the wild power that no god nor man could ever truly tame. Then came the Middle Ages, and with them darkness. The church turned old gods into devils, and old spirits into monsters. The wolf, once sacred, became cursed. Legends of werewolves spread, twisting the noble hunter into a creature of sin. But legends are never one-sided. In some villages, people whispered of white wolves that protected travelers, of lone wolves who guided lost souls through the forest. The myth always carried a spark of truth. The wolf wasn't evil. It was misunderstood. Because deep down, humans knew. What we feared most in the wolf was what we recognized in ourselves. Instinct, hunger, wildness. A reflection we couldn't look away from. Fast forward to today. The world has changed, but the wolf still runs free. From Alaska's frozen tundra to the mountains of Italy, from Mongolia's steppe to the forests of Romania, its howl still echoes. Scientists now study their language, the tones, the meanings, the calls that can travel 10 miles through the night. Biologists track their movements with satellites. Photographers wait weeks just to capture a glimpse of that piercing gaze. And millions of people around the world follow every new litter born in the wild, cheering for their survival. What once was fear has become fascination. What once was hunted is now protected, at least in some places. But the story is far from over. Today, wolves face a new challenge, not from spears or bullets, but from a world that's shrinking. Forests are disappearing. Climate is shifting. Prey is moving, and yet, they adapt. A wolf can travel 40 miles in a single night. It can survive on almost nothing. It can cross rivers, deserts, and even cities if it must. It is not just a predator, it is a survivor. In Poland, wolves now roam near towns again. In the US, some wander across highways and rail lines, reclaiming old territories. In Italy, one pack even lives near Rome, haunting the edges of the city that once tried to erase them. It's poetic, isn't it? The wolf returns not for revenge, but for life. When you look into a wolf's eyes, what do you see? Power? Beauty? Danger? Maybe all of it. But look deeper, and you'll see something more. You'll see the story of the wild itself. The struggle, the resilience, the hunger, the freedom. The heartbeat that existed long before us, and will continue long after we're gone. Every howl in the night is a reminder. The wild still lives. And as long as it does, there's still hope. We've followed the wolf from ancient myths to modern science. From the days of fear to the dawn of respect. And now, standing here, listening to that haunting cry across the mountains, we realize something simple, yet profound. The wolf never needed to change. We did. If we can learn to coexist with the wolf, to see not an enemy, but a fellow traveler on this earth, then maybe there's hope for all of nature. And for us. So next time you hear a howl under the moonlight, don't be afraid. Listen, because somewhere out there, a pack is calling, reminding us that the wild still breathes, and the story of the wolf is far from over. That's the story of the wolf, its past, its power, and its spirit that refuses to fade. If you felt the wild calling through this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to TVP Wildlife, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next journey into the untamed world. I'm your host, from TVP Wildlife, and until next time, stay curious, stay wild, and keep listening to the call of the wolf.